A few weeks ago, we found this beautiful Italian home in a hillside village in the north of Sicily. After falling in love with the local area and the house, we decided to take the plunge. We agreed a price and paid our deposit. It was then discovered that the sale of the house was actually illegal in its current state, with the demolition of an entire floor needed before it would be legal to buy. We were then left with the question, do we still want to buy this property? That was a couple of weeks ago now, and we have a lot to update you guys on and to clear up a few things as well.
So buckle up, guys, because this is going to be a car crash. Not really. You can maybe hear and tell from the sound of the rain that we are back in the UK, and we have made a decision on what to do with our house out in Italy.
Before we get stuck into our decision with the house, we really wanted to clear up some confusion because we were really upset to find out after our last video came out is that our good friends Sarah and Luca over at Leave Everything and Wander were on the receiving end of some pretty nasty messages and emails.
We just want to clarify who Luca and Sarah are and what their role is in all of this. So Luca and Sarah run a YouTube channel. They are an Italian family who have recently moved to Sicily and bought a house in this village in the north of Sicily.
They documented their whole journey on their channel, and in turn a lot of people reached out to them who were really interested on going on that same journey. So Luca and Sarah actually showed off a number of other properties that were available in their village to buy.
So these guys are not estate agents, and they're not claiming to be estate agents. What they are doing though is helping people with the process, so sort of translation of the documents, getting the right documents together. So what happened in our case is they were helping with the documents and to basically make sure that everything was going to go through smoothly. Unfortunately, from the owners of the house, they hadn't realized the floor plans didn't match exactly. So it left a situation where you need to have a whole wall knocked down to make the house a legal sale.
So actually, if it wasn't for Sarah and Luca being involved and highlighting the discrepancies in the floor plan so early on, it would actually have caused us a bunch more hassle. So we're actually really, really grateful that they were there to help us out through this entire process and hold our hands.
Yeah, so it's really heartbreaking for us to hear that they got a lot of negativity directed towards them, and just from our mistake that it's very difficult on YouTube to get everything that's in here, everything you've learned, and get it out there so it's kind of clear. Sometimes there's going to be gaps in context.
Yeah, it's easy to miss stuff out and forget to fill in the blanks for you guys, and then of course if you don't have the full story, you're going to fill in the blanks yourself. So we want to apologize if we caused any confusion in that. The last thing we would want to do is spread hate in any way whatsoever, especially to dear friends of ours.
So also we just want to make sure that if you're also interested in doing something similar, these guys are really great at being the middle ground and being able to speak English and Italian fluently. So I just want to put on the record that they're good people, they're trustworthy, and please don't go and send them any unnecessary hate.
No, and if any of you guys are interested in checking out what other properties are available that they've shown around, head over to their channel. We will link it down below. And this leads on to the big decision. What have we decided to do?
So we want to say thank you so much to everyone that left us a comment on the last video. It was an insane reaction and just so many thoughts and so many things to consider.
And so many ideas that people had for what to do with space, and just thank you for all of it.
So we've had a couple of weeks to basically take the emotion out of it.
And then put it back in.
Yeah, then put it back in. We also kind of got married during that time as well. So we kind of wanted to focus on that and let it all settle down. So we have now made a decision. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna buy the bloody house.
In my mind, there's like a collective bunch of beans out there like, oh, like you saw.
Yeah, but then equally, there's gonna be people celebrating for us. Yay!
So it might be naive, but let's tell you our thought process and why hopefully you can be excited for us.
I think what it really boiled down to for me especially was that if we'd gone to see this property and it didn't have the little floor above the kitchen and the kitchen was all changed and there was no bathroom down there, so it is exactly as it is as we speak now, would I still be interested? And the answer was yes.
Yeah.
A resounding yes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for me, it's the whole bigger picture.
Yeah.
Of course, there's plenty more fish in the sea, but there isn't lots of places where you get to have, the sea view, a couple of doors down from some really great friends, like a bit of a community, all these things. We've been looking for this for a long time, and we haven't found it easily.
No, and that place, it ticks all of our boxes.
Yeah.
And we love having our boxes ticked.
So it could be argued that maybe we just don't have the energy to go and do the search again and go through this process again. But it's not the first time we've been through this process.
No.
And I think that dream for me is worth fighting for.
Yes.
If it just means that we now have a bigger kitchen, in terms of first world problems, it's pretty small. It's not this big shocking decision, really. Like, we're just buying a nice holiday home in Italy.
Yes.
So it could go really wrong, and as a viewer of Travel Beans, it will go completely wrong, and we have made the wrong decision. But there is some value in seeing people time after time after time make the wrong decision, whilst thinking it's the right one, because I think it's the right one.
I think it's the right one too, and I'm really excited about it. So could you all just do me a favor and be really excited for us? Because I'm super excited.
Yeah, this is always the calm, naive before the storm.
Yeah, and before any of you ask, we will of course be going back to the property before we get the keys, because obviously they've had to demolish that whole floor and we don't know exactly what it looks like right now. So we will be doing that before we put our name on the dotted line. We'd like to take a moment to thank ExpressVPN for being the sponsor of today's video. ExpressVPN allows users worldwide to protect their privacy and security online with just a few clicks. Whether we're at home or connecting to public Wi-Fi whilst on the road, we always make sure to use a VPN for a number of reasons. Using a VPN makes you much more anonymous and makes it more difficult for big tech companies and advertisers to track your movements online. But one of the main reasons we choose to use a VPN is to make it harder for hackers to get hold of our personal information, especially when we're using public Wi-Fi. ExpressVPN stops these hackers and big tech companies from getting a hold of your personal information by encrypting and rerouting your data through their secure encrypted servers. This happened to us before when we were traveling in the Philippines and had our bank details hacked when we weren't using a VPN. This was such a hassle to sort out, which is why we now always make sure to use ExpressVPN whilst on the road. No matter where you are or what devices you're using, whether that's your phone, tablet, computer, or router, one single ExpressVPN subscription has got you covered. Find out how you can get 3 months for free by scanning the QR code on screen, using our link that's down in the description, or heading over to expressvpn.com/travelbeans.
Now that we know that we are going to be buying a house in Italy, you might be wondering, what does that mean for us? Are we going to live there? Are we going to live in the UK? And
the answer is both.
Yes.
Well, for the time being anyway, with the fact that post-Brexit, it means that we are only allowed to spend 90 days within 180 days in the EU, which includes Sicily. So that means that we can't live there currently for 12 months of the year anyway. So we have decided for the time being we want to keep our apartment here in the UK. So we have a place to be the other 6 months of the year, and as kind of a safety net as well, in case it isn't what we hope it is going to be and we still have this place, because the rental market in the UK is not a good one
at the moment.
So to have hold of a place that's affordable and in the right location near family and friends is very important to us.
So as we have just got married about a week and a half ago, we were engaged for almost 9 years, over 9 years.
An embarrassingly long time.
So I wouldn't have thought that getting married would have felt very different to us.
No.
But what has really struck us actually is how life is very different. Maybe our values, at least, since getting married. And I think specifically that's because we've been spending a lot of time with family over the last few weeks. And getting married brings people together, having a baby brings people together.
Yeah, and I think it's really helped us this time off with the wedding and family and everything. It's just helped us to really hone in on what it is that we want for now, what we want going forward for our future. And it's just really helped to clarify all of that. And I think a big part of that future does involve a life here in the UK.
So originally our plan was to get the place in Sicily to live, but because we can't be there all the time, we would also be traveling a lot because we travel for our job with YouTube. And so we thought that would make up most of our year. But now we're feeling like just as we buy our place in Italy, we realise that our hearts are here in the southwest of England.
Yeah.
And this is where we want to call home. So as soon as we buy one house, we also do want to eventually buy a house here in the UK.
Yeah.
To mix our time up between Sicily, the UK, and travelling.
Yeah.
They all get an even split.
It's really exciting because one of the main reasons that we settled on Sicily was the people and the community and just the whole vibe of the place. It's such a warm, welcoming place to be, and it's a place that we really had all these lovely images of future family vacations, having friends and family come and visit, spend quality good time together, relaxing and enjoying the culture out there. And we kind of want the same thing in the UK too, so we can jump between both of them.
So I think we probably sound extremely greedy right now.
But why not? We only have one life. We may as well be greedy.
And we just want to gather all of the properties.
It's really gathering all of the people, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's to have a little meeting place where all friends and family can come together as often as we possibly can, to just have that lovely sense of community as often as we possibly can.
Unfortunately, the UK is rather expensive, and we would like to get a kind of rural property out here at some point. So
That's the next
Sicily
hurdle.
is a beautiful stopgap as
Yeah.
well to that goal.
Yeah.
And
winter sun. That was a big reason why we decided on Sicily as well. So whilst it's a stopgap in this very drizzly, rainy UK, I'm also thinking, oh wow, how nice is that going to be in a few months' time when I'm absolutely sick of the winter here, to be able to go and escape to Sicily.
so if you're wondering what kind of content will be coming up on the Travel Beans, you will be seeing some of our life in Sicily and that whole process. Eventually, the same with the UK. And then also still lots of travel things, random stuff that we come up with that
Lots of
takes
fun
our
things.
interest.
Yeah.
And also we are on a little bit of a health journey, and maybe some more videos about that, because it's probably the thing that we're most excited for in life, just in general, is what's the point of having all these awesome things in life if you aren't there to enjoy it. So I think that's one of our main focuses as well going forward.
Also with Noah's schooling, I know a lot of you in the comments have asked about what our plans are going to be for that as well. The truth is we're not quite sure yet, but I think by having a place still here in the UK, it means at least we have that option. We have an apartment in a catchment area of a school for him when he comes of the right age.
I think something that we're trying to figure out ourselves is that we have lived a pretty creative life over the last 12 years, and we have done things that have not been necessarily the conventional thing to do and a conventional way to live life, and we love that. And of course, if you settle down and you send your kids to normal school, it's the sort of standard way of living, and we definitely would like to look at it through a different lens, but also not experiment with our child's future.
Exactly.
We want to do the right thing for him.
Yeah.
We're just deciding, is the traditional sort of standard school the right thing for him? And
Yeah. And we
who
haven't come
knows?
to the conclusion yet. So it's really nice to have all of our options open when it comes to this, including having a place here in a catchment area of the school where he can go to. Let us know in the comments down below if you have had any epiphanies like we have had so recently with our honeymoon and all that family time, and really knowing what we want to value in life, and family being sort of the heart of that for us. We would love to hear what other things you're passionate about and you're looking forward to in your future.
And also let me know down in the comments, how long into a marriage does it all start to get terrible for the man?
Yeah, okay, lovely.
Because I need to safeguard for that.
The answer is now.
If you enjoyed the video, give it a big fat thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you're interested in ExpressVPN, check out the link down in the description. And nothing left to say, but thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time,
and beans out.